world's stage. And all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts. His act being 7 ages. At first, the infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. And then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation. Even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good capon lined, eyes severe and beard of full cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, old world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history. The second childishness, a mere oblivion, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits, come, and their entrances.
Good morrow, your worship.
And one man, in his time, plays many parts. His act being 7 ages.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good, Monsieur Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
There's no news at the court, sir. The old news, that is. The old Duke is banished by his younger brother, the new Duke. They say he is already in the forest of Arden, and many merry men with him, and there they live like the old Robin Hood of England.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than that of the envious court? And this, our life exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the Duke's daughter, be banished by her father?
Oh no! She's at the court and no less beloved of her uncle than his own daughter, and no two ladies loved as they do.
Oh, you wrestle tomorrow before the new Duke.
Marry do I, sir. Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit. And I came to acquaint you with a matter. I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come in disguised against me to try a fall.
I tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France. I had as lief this down break his neck as his finger.
I'm heartily glad I came hither to you. If he come tomorrow, I'll give him his payment.
Farewell, good Charles.
Farewell. Yeah! Charles, we have a matter I must discuss. Last night, I was before my put your money on it! Crazy, you bet on him too? I'm on to see it! Yeah! They're not coming to see the wrestling! They have to bet on him. How are you? How are you? You better win. I had so much money. Champion! Anyway, come, this way, this way. Y'all hyped for the wrestling? Woo!
Everyone, come hither to see the wrestling. The undefeated heavyweight champion, Charles. Along the fence line up and put me down below. Right this way. Come.
The old pit!
Along the fence. Stand behind anyone. Right this way.
This is right, you can stay here too.
Yes.
Come spread out.
Next, the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face creeping like snail unwillingly to school.
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet, my kind, be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of. And would you yet I were merrier? Unless you could teach me to forget a banished father.
Herein, I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy uncle, the Duke, my father, so thou hadst still been with me, I could have taught my love to take thy father for mine. So wouldst thou, if the truth of thy love to me was so righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
Well, I will forget the condition of my estate to rejoice in yours.
You know my father hath no child but I, nor none is like to have, and truly when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he has taken away from thy father perforce, I shall render thee again in affection, by mine honor I will. And when I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my dear Rose, my sweet Rose, be merry.
From henceforth, I will cuss and devise sports. Now let me see. What think you of falling in love?
You amaze me, ladies! I would have told you of good wrestling which you have lost the sight of!
You tell us the manner of the
I will tell you the beginning, and if it please your ladyship, you may see the end, for the best is yet to do, and here, where you are, they are coming to perform it! 3 proper young men of excellent growth and presence. The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, who in a moment threw him and broke 3 of his ribs, that there's little hope of life in him. So he served the 2nd, and so the 3rd.
Last.
But what is the sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Why, this that I speak of.
Oh, thus men may grow wiser every day. 'Tis the first time ever I heard that breaking of ribs was a sport for ladies. Or I promise thee.
Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
You must, for here is the place appointed for the wrestling, and they are ready to perform it.
Yonder, sure, they are coming. Let us now stay and see it.
Come on! Since the youth will not be entreated, his own peril on his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Oh, even he, madam.
Alas, he is too young. Yet he works successfully.
How now, daughter and cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
I'm at leisure, so please, you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. Speak with him, ladies. See if you can move him. Call him hither, give me some about.
Monsieur the Challenger, the princess is called for you.
I attend them with all respect and duty.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess, he is the general challenger.
Oh, gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your years.
We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward. Come! Where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother?
Ready, sir, but his will hath been in a more modest working.
You shall try but one fall.
No, your grace! I warrant you, do not entreat him to a second that hath so mightily persuaded him from a first.
And you mean to balk me after? You should not have balked me before, but come your ways.
I would thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I did find him still mine enemy. Thou shouldst better have pleased me with this deed, hadst thou descended from another house.
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul. Had I before known this young man his son, I should have given him tears unto entreaties, ere he should thus have ventured.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him.
Gentlemen, wear this for me. Escape. One out of suits with fortune that could give more, but that her hand lacks means. Shall we go, Gus?
Aye. Fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say I thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and that which here stands up is but a quintain, a mere lifeless plot.
He calls us back. My pride fell with my fortunes. I'll ask him what he would. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuz?
Have with you. Very well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown.
Sir, I counsel you to leave this place.
I thank you, sir, and pray you tell me this. Which of the two was daughter of the Duke that here was at the wrestling?
Neither his daughter, if we judge by manners, but yet indeed the lesser is his daughter. Sir, fare you well.
I rest much bound in you. Fare you well. Thus must I from the smoke into the smother, from tyrant duke unto tyrant brother. But heavenly Rosalind.
And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then the justice, in fair round belly and good capon lined, eyes severe,
And beard of formal cut.
full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part.
My cousin. Why, Rosalind, Cupid of mercy, not a word.
Not one to throw it all.
Throw some of me in. Come, lay me with reasons.
Ah, how full of briars is this working day world!
They are but birds, cousin. Don't upon me in holiday foolery. We walk not in the trodden paths, a very petty cold will catch them.
I could shake them off my coat. These birds are in my heart.
Come, wrestle with thy affections.
Oh, they take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Oh, what good wish upon you. You will try time in despite of all. Is it possible in such a sudden you fall to so strong a liking with also Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly. Look, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days if thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace. Let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me.
Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord. Or if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence on to me then, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time upon mine honor and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind. Whither wilt thou go? I charge thee, be not thou more good than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Knowest thou not that Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
I have not.
No, hath not. Rosalind lies in love and teach thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No, let my father seek another heir. Divide with me till we may fly.
But whither shall we go?
Seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be? Maids, as we are to travel forth so far.
I shall put myself in poor and mean attire, with a kind of umber smudge my face. The like the usual shall we pass along and never stare assailants.
Were it not better because I am more than common tall that it is suit me all points like a man?
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page. Therefore, look, you call me Ganon. What will you be called?
Something that has a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
But cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travels?
Oh, he'll go along the wide road. Leave me alone to go. Now, let us away, get our tools and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and the safest place to hide us from the pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now go be content to liberty and not to banishment.
The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon. With spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful goals well saved a world too wide for his shrunk shank. And his big, manly voice turning again toward childish treble. Pipes and whistles in the sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history. second childishness. And mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Who's there?
Oh, my gentle master. Oh, my young master.
Why, what's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth. Come not within these doors, within this roof. Your brother, no brother yet, the son yet not the son, I will not call him son, hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. If he fail of that, I overheard him in his practices. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it, do not enter it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What, wouldst thou have me go and beg my food? This I must do, or know not what to do. I rather will subject me to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns, the thrifty hire I saved under your father. Here is the gold. Now go on, master, go on.
Oh, good old man. in their box my thoughts of characters. Run, run, Orlando. Carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, the unexpressive she.
East to western end, no jewels like Rosalind. The working mountain on the hills, all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind but the fair of Rosalind.
So 8 years together, dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted.
Out, fool!
For a taste. If a heart you lack behind, let him seek out Rosaline. If a cat will be after kind, so must gentle Rosaline. Winter garments must be lined, so must slender Rosaline. He that smooths love will find love's prick and Rosaline. This is the very most skeletal verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool! I found them on a tree.
I'm truly the tree yields bad fruit.
Peace. Here comes my sister reading. Stand aside.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh, yes. I heard them all. And more, too.
But didst thou hear them without wondering how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees?
I was 7 out of the 9 days of wonder before you came. For look here what I found on a palm tree.
Tell you who has done this.
Is it a man?
And a chain you once wore about his neck.
I prithee who?
Is it? Nay, it is a hard matter for friends to meet, but mountains may be removed with earthquakes and so encounter.
Nay, but who is it?
Is it possible?
I prithee who?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful! And most wonderful, wonderful! And yet again wonderful! And after that, out of all hoping.
Good, my complexion! Dost thou think, though I am comparison like a man, I am a dull and imposed in my disposition? 1 inch of delay more is a south sea of discovery. I prithee, talk of this quickly and speak of peace. Is he a bronze face? What manner of man? Is his head with a hat? Or his chin with a beard?
Nay, he hath but a little beard. It is young Orlando who tripped up the rest of his heels, and your heart broke in an instant.
Man, the dirty walking! To speak Cybra truly.
If it does, 'tis he.
Orlando?
Orlando.
Alas, the day! What shall I do with my double-headed host? What did he when thou sawest him? What's that? How looked he? Where am I? What makes him? Did he ask for me? Where am I? How hard did he? And what shall this hear him answer me in one word?
You must borrow me gargantuous mouth first.
But doth he know that a maid is forced and dressed in man's apparel?
Comes he not here?
Oh, 'tis he. Slip by, I know him. I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under the habit play the knave with him. Do you hear, fool, sir?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is it, clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There's no clock in the forest.
Well, then there is no true lover in the forest. Else, sighing every minute, and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time, as well as the clock.
And why not the swift foot of time? Had not that been his proper?
By no means, sir. Time travels in divers paces with divers persons. There is a man who haunts the forest that abuses a young prince, carving the name Rosalind on their books. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shamed. I pray you tell me a remedy.
There is none of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me I know a man in love in which page rushes. I'm sure you are not prisoner.
Fair youth, I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it?
You may as soon make her that you love believe it. But in good sooth, are you he that paints these verses on the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
The rhyme nor reason could express how much.
It's merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves as well a dark house and a whip as madmen do. Yet I profess cure you by counsel.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you. If you would, but call me Rosalind, come to my coat every day, woo me.
Now by the faith of my love I will. Tell me where.
Go with me to it, and I'll show it you. And by the way, you shall tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
No, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, will you go? If you will see a pageant truly played between the pale complexion of true love and the red glow of scorn and proud disdain, go hence a little, and I shall conduct you, if you will mark it. The sight of lovers feedeth those in love. Bring us to this sight, and you shall say, I'll prove a busy actor in your play.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness.
Now I do frown on thee with all my heart. And if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee.
Oh!
Now catch your fit to swoon, how now fall down.
Oh, dear Phoebe, if ever, as ever that may be near you, need in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then you shall know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time, come not thou near me. And when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks, pity me not, as till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why, pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult, exalt all at once over the wretched? What though you have no beauty? As by my faith, I see no more human without candle to go dark to bed. Why, what means this? Why do you look on me? I see no more human than the ordinary of nature's stale work. Also, my little life, I think she means to tangle my eyes too. No fate, proud mistress. Hope not after it. You, foolish shepherd. Wherever do you follow your foggy sun puffing with wind and rain? You are 1,000 times a proper man than she a woman. 'Tis such fools as you that make the world full of ill-favored children. But this is down on your knees. And thank heaven, fasting for a good man's love, for I must tell you, friendly in your ear, sell when you can. You are not for all markets. Private list. Love him. Take his eye.
Sweet youth, I pray you, chide a year together. I had rather hear you chide than this man woo.
Whoa!
Fall in love with your godness and should fall in love with my anger. Why look you so upon me?
For no ill will I bring you.
I pray you do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not.
Whoever fell in love but not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for you, gentle Sylvias.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief and love, then by giving love, your sorrow and my grief were both exterminate.
Since that thou canst talk of love so well, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I will endure, and I'll employ thee too. But do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
So holy and so perfect is my love, and I in such a poverty of grace shall think it the most plenteous crop, to glean the broken years after the man the main harvest reaps. Loose
Now and then a scattered smile, and that I'll live upon.
Knowest the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I've met him oft.
Think not that I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy, and yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well, and he that speaks them pleases those that hear. It is a pretty youth. Not very pretty, but sure he's proud, and yet his pride becomes him. There'd be some women, Sylvius, had they marked him in parcels as I did, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not nor hate him not. And yet I have more cause to hate him than I do to love him. For what had he to do to try at me?
He'd be with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter is in my head and in my heart. Oh!
Never talk to me. I will weep.
You are pretty, but yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But have I not cause to weep?
As it goeth home with desire, therefore weep.
But why did he swear he would come this morning and comes not?
Nay, certainly there is no truth in him.
True in love?
When he is in, but I think he is not in.
You have heard him swear downright he was.
Was is not is. He attends you in the forest from the Duke, your father.
I met with the Duke yesterday, and had much question with him. He asked me of what parentage I was, and I told him not as good as he, so he laughed and let me go. But what talk we of fathers when there is such a man as Orlando?
Oh, that's a brave man. He speaks brave words, writes brave verses, swears brave oaths, and breaks them bravely. Comes he not here?
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Why, how now, Orlando? You a lover, and you serve me such another trick. Never come in my sight more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy, come no more in my sight.
What of my suit?
Not out of your apparel, and yet out of your suit. And not I who Rosalind.
It takes some joy to say you are, because I would be talking with her.
Well, in her person, I say I will not have you.
And in mine own person I die.
The poor world is almost 6,000 years old, and in all this time there was not any man died of love cause.
Love me, Rosalind.
Yes, babe, will. On Fridays, Saturdays, and on.
And wilt thou have me?
Aye, and 20 such.
What sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Well then, can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us.
I cannot say the words.
You must begin, will you, Orlando?
Go to. Will you, Orlando, have his wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
Now, I might ask you for your commission, but I do take thee, Orlando, for your passport. Now tell me, how long you can have her after you have possessed her?
Forever and a day.
No, Orlando. Say a day without the other. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sign changes when they are wives. And I will sure win when you are disposed to be married, and I will laugh like a hyena, and not when thou art inclined to sleep.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave.
Alas, dear love! I cannot laugh in 2 hours!
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I will be with thee again.
Go your ways! Go your ways! I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as much, and I thought no less. That flattering time of yours won me. 'Tis but one cast away. So good! 2 o'clock is your hour?
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By macho, if you break one jot,
wrinkles, and the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her that you call Rosalind, then may be chosen out of the gross band of the unfaithful. Therefore, beware my censure, and keep your promise!
With no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. So, adieu.
You have simply misused our sex in your love praise. We should have your doublet and hose bucked over your head and show the world what the bird had done to her own nest.
Cuz, my pretty little cuz, that thou didst know how to fathom deep I am in love. But it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown bottom.
Or, rather bottomless, that as fast as you pour affection in, it runs out.
I will tell thee, Aliena, I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow and sigh till he come.
No sleep.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know, where the curlish store stands a cheap coat fence about with olive trees.
West of the disperse, down in the neighbor bottom, where it goes by the murmuring stream. Left on your right hand reaches the place, but at this hour the house will keep itself, here is none within.
When I may profit by tongue then, I should know you by description. Such garments and such years. The boy is fair in a female favor and bestows himself like a ripe sister. The woman low and browner than a brother. Are you not the owner of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast, being asked to say we are.
Orlando doth commend you to you both, and to the shepherd youth he calls his Rosalind, he sends his bloody napkin. Are ye he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame. If you will know of me, what man I am, and how and why and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you tell it.
Under an oak whose boughs were mosswood age, a wretched, ragged man, o'ergrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. About his neck, a lioness which under his all drawn dry, lay crouching head on ground with cavity bulge. This scene, Orlando did approach the man and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of this same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
Well, he might so do for, well, I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave him there, food to the sucked and hungry lioness?
Twice he turned his back on purpose so, but kindness nobler than revenge and his nature stronger than the just occasion made him give battle to the lioness who quickly fell before him, and which hurtling from miserable slumber I await.
Are you his brother?
Was it you he rescued?
Was it you that did so often try to kill him?
Was I? This is not I. I do not shouldn't tell you what I am, since my conversion so sweetly tastes being the thing I am.
But from what?
Fine. The lioness had torn some flesh away, but all this while had bled, and then he fainted and cried, and fainting upon Rosalind! Brief I recovered him, bound up his wounds, and sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell the story, that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give this napkin dyed in his blood to the shepherd youth he in sport doth call his Rosalind.
Why, come out, enemy! Forget me!
You swoon when they look
There
at
is
blood.
more in it. Come and get me!
Oh, look, he recovers! Be a good cheer, youth! You're a man! Like a man's heart.
I do so. I confess it. A body would think this was well counterfeited. I pray you, tell me how well I counterfeit.
This was not counterfeit. Still quite too testimony every collection for the passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Where are you homeward? You look paler and paler. Good sir, will you go with us?
That will I, for I must bear answer back and excuse my brother, Rosalind.
I shall devise something, but I pray you, commend my counterfeit.
Is it possible that on such little acquaintance you should like, that but singing you should love her, and loving woo, and wooing she should grant, and will you persever to enjoy her?
I love Aliena. Stay with her that she loves me. Consent with both so that we may enjoy each other.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. Thither will I invite the Duke and all his contented followers. Go you and prepare Aliena. For look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
Oh, and you fair sister.
Why, how now, Orlando?
How it grieves me to see thy wear thy heart in the scarf.
It is my arm.
I thought thy heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your mother tell you how well I counterfeited to swoon when you showed me your
And greater wonders than that.
Oh, I know where you are.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I will bid the Duke to the nuptial. But, oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes.
Why then tomorrow? Can I not serve your turn for Rosalind?
You can no longer live by thinking.
I will weary you then no longer with idle talking to me. Know of me then, for I speak to some purpose. Believe then, if you please, that I can do strange things. If you do love Rosalind so near the heart as your gesture cries out, tomorrow when your brother marries Aliena, shall you marry her? I know into what straits of fortune she is driven, and it is not impossible to me, if it appear not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow, human as she is, and without any danger.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life, I do, which I tender dear, though I say I am a magician. Therefore, put you in your best array, for if you will be married tomorrow, you shall, and to Rosalind, if you will. Look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
Good shepherd! Tell this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service, and so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion, and all made of wishes, all adoration, duty, and observance, all humbleness, all patience and impatience, all purity, all trial, and all observance, and so am I for Phoebe!
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, I blame you me to love you!
If this be so, I blame me to love you.
Who do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here or doth not hear.
I pray you no more of this. It's like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow meet me all together. I will marry you if ever I marry you. Yes. I will be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if ever I satisfy you, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you. What pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind meet, as you love Phoebe meet, and as I love no woman, I'll meet. So fare you well. I've left you commands.
Oh, not fair if I live!
Nor I!
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that this boy can do all that he hath promised?
I sometimes do believe and sometimes do not. As those that fear, they hope and know they fear.
Patience! Once more, whilst our compact is urged. You say if I bring in your Rosalind, you will bestow her on Orlando here?
That would I, had I kingdoms to give with her.
And you say you will have her when I bring her?
That would I, were I kingdom's king.
Keep you your word, O Duke, to give you yours, your daughter, Orlando, to receive his daughter. And from hence I go to make all these doubts even.
I do remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
My lord, the first time I ever saw him, he thought he was a brother to your daughter.
She's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. Greetings, salutations to you all.
Good, my lord. Bid him welcome. This is a man I have often met in the forest. He's a courtier. He swears it.
For she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly
I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
There be truth in sight. You are my daughter.
There be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
I'll have no father if you be not he. I'll have no husband if you be not he. Play music! And you, brides and bridegrooms and all, with measure heaped in joy to the measure's full. Oh, my dear niece, how welcome thou art to me. Even thou world with no less degree.
I'll not eat my word while thou art mine. Thy fate to my fancy to thee doth combine.
Proceed, proceed. We will begin these rites as we do trust they'll end in true delights.